I'm American.
Yeah, but so you're Afro-American.
Yeah, I mean, I'm African American, but like my people have been in America for like centuries.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But you were originally from Africa.
I mean, we're all originally from Africa.
That's debatable. So where do you trace your roots to? What country in Africa?
I don't, because I was like in America, and my grandmother and my great-grandmother and my great-great-grandmother. So like, I don't think we have the documentation, because like the slave trade sort of ruined that.
Where? Okay.
But yeah, we've been in America for hundreds of years, many generations.
I can't stand when people be like, Black Americans don't know where they come from. Black Americans don't know where they come from. Girl, I come from Birmingham, Alabama, McGill Projects, Fairfield. What did you talk about?
You guys are always saying that Black Americans don't know where they came from. Black Americans don't have a culture. So as usual, I'm going to draw you guys a picture to demonstrate some key facts here, okay? I can't draw. Just pretend this is Africa, okay? This is South America, North America. This is Central America. And this is the Caribbean. It's not graphically up to scale, but just pretend for me. Europeans came over and they grabbed some people and took those people on boats. Okay, and they said, okay, some of y'all are coming here. This other country came and said, okay, we're taking you guys here. Another country came and said, we're going to take you guys here. Okay, let's say this is like Brazil. Okay, Brazilians, we consider them to have a culture. If you ask somebody today in 2024, where are you from? And they say Brazil, you're like, cool, accepted answer. If you go to Haiti, and you're like, where are you from? And they say, I'm from Haiti. Accepted answer. If you ask somebody, where are you from? And they say, I'm from Georgia. Not accepted. No, where are you really from? See, you guys don't know where you came from. You guys don't know anything. Where's your language? Where's your history? What is wrong with y'all?
Who are you? I am an American. From where? Where are you people from, actually? I really want to know where Americans are from. Who gave you the right, the audacity to know where people are from? And let me tell you something. You're going to see it along line when I'm rolling out the other letter for you guys. People that ask questions like this do not know where they come from. Yes. A lot of immigrants have tagged that Black Americans do not know where they come from. It is okay for a white person to say, oh, I am from America. Oh, that's fine. It's actually a white person. Hallelujah. But it is bad. It is a big offense when Black person said, I am from America. Why? Why? Welcome to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. And guys, with that being said, let's go watch these videos. I'll be back with commentaries. My God.
Africa. Leave Black America alone. Because Black Americans have been disconnected from Africa for over 400 years, bro.
I don't think that you get it. So let's try to have this conversation, okay? When Africans ask African Americans to have a connection with Africa, we are not asking them to leave America and to go to Africa. We're not asking them to go back to Africa. No. We are inviting them to open their minds to the idea of having Africa as a second home. Because if you live in this country, if you live right here in America, you can tell. If you're not blind, you can tell. It's only a matter of time before what happened to Germany happens here. It's really just a matter of time. And when something like that happens, it will be best for our brothers and sisters here to have a second home where they can go to. It will be a lot more harder for them to go to a place where they've never been, to a place where they have no connection with. So we invite them to start creating that connection now, because you never know.
Africans, we lie a lot as if we know where we're from. Most of us can't tell you 2 generations past where we are from. And I've had the privilege of traveling in Africa a lot as well. And my identity is ubiquitous. Right? Nobody could tell where I'm from by looking at me. When I'm in Nigeria, they think I'm Igbo. I could go to Ghana, they think I'm Ghanaian. The average Gambian may look at me and look at us and say, you don't look Gambian. I'm just African. So, and part of the book is there's a chapter I talk about life as a hyphen where I'm African. I think I'm from the western part of Africa. That's what I identify the strongest with, is my identity as an African, but I have a Gambian cultural background and heritage.
So why don't we ask white Americans where are they really from? Because they're not really from here. Like, after centuries and centuries and centuries of our ancestors and us being here, y'all still have the audacity to ask us where we're really from. Am I tripping, or are are African Americans not from America? Because, like, I just don't get why we're always asked, no, where are you really from? Nigga, I'm really from America. Unfortunately. No, where are you really from? Nigga, I'm really from America. Like, I don't get it. If a black person, right, an African American person, right, goes somewhere out of the country and tell me where you're from. I'm from America. No, but like, where are you from? Like, where are you really from? America. Unfortunately, I'm still from America, even though my ancestors were brought here, you know, as enslaved servants. Like, nigga, we're from America, regardless of what our ethnicities are. We're American people. We're from America. We're not asking your white Americans where they really from, because they ain't really from America either. The only difference between them and us is they came here by choice, nigga. We ain't have no choice. Our people ain't have no choice. So why don't we ask white Americans where they really from? Because they're not really from here. Or am I tripping? Do I not know? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. like, am I tripping? Like, after centuries and centuries and centuries of our ancestors and us being here, y'all still have the audacity to ask us where we're really from.
Becoming increasingly difficult for me to maintain my patience and try to speak with a certain level of empathy for other people when it pertains to Black Americans. But why is it so hard for Black Europeans to understand that Black Americans are not immigrants in America and that we are American?
I was born in the EU, grew up in the United States, then came back to Europe.
In the US, where they're from, like, you know, like, where are you from? Where are your roots from? Most of the time, they're going to tell you something like, I'm from Washington, D.C., I'm from New York, but, you know, I have grandparents who were born in Florida, and so on and so forth. If you have somebody in Europe, a Black person where they're from in Europe, they will almost never tell you that they're from, or I'm from Marseille, or I'm from Lyon, or whatever. They're going to tell you, I'm from Congo, I'm from Cameroon, I'm from Guadeloupe. To say bluntly, I don't think that most African Americans realistically know where they are from, and that's not like a thing to like put them down, like to put African Americans down as a whole down. It's just it's a result of history. I mean, like, if you think.
Time I see someone from the diaspora make a video like this, it's always in bad faith and or being extremely disingenuous as to your knowledge and understanding of what it means to be Black American, especially if you had lived in America most of your life. Didn't upset me. It's more annoying than anything, because for a Congolese man from France that is an immigrant in France, for him to live in America mostly his whole life, like he said, and still not understand that when you ask a Black person where they're from, me, for example, I'm from New York. My mom's father is from Bowling, Alabama. My mom's mother is from Millen, Georgia. My great grandmother is from Millen, Georgia. She was enslaved in Millen, Georgia. So that is where we're from. Then we moved to New York, and that I became from New York. And before my great grandmother, they were in Georgia. Before them, they were in Georgia. From the slave ship to Georgia. I'm not sure why that is hard to comprehend. And his argument would have been so different if he spoke about the whole Americas. But for some reason, it is okay for a Jamaican to say they're Jamaican, for a Bayesian to say they're Bayesian, for a Haitian to say they're Haitian, for a Dominican to say they're Dominican, for a Brazilian to be Brazilian, so forth and so on. I just, it gets to a point where it's like, enough, man. Enough. Like, I know you guys want America to be a white country so bad because this is the place you all move to for opportunity and to work and to make it. And the fact that you can't comprehend, even though you understand what Black Americans are, your talking points are always they don't know where they come from, because how can you be from Georgia? But anybody else in the region, you're fine with them being from where they're from. It doesn't make sense. And until you get it, just stop talk. Just stop. Stop.
Not me just having a realization that the rest of the Black diaspora have been real quiet in regards to telling Black Americans that we don't know where we come from. Ever since that orange man got up on TV and said that birthright citizen was only instituted for children of chattel slavery. Where y'all at? Okay, where y'all at? Okay, it seemed like that was the platform that y'all was standing on so hard, that we were orphans and we don't know where we come from and we not this and we not that. And it seems as though y'all influenced the entire international community to think that, like, I don't know, I guess I don't know how that immigrant narrative came around, but we've been screaming as a collective community that we know exactly where we from, that we could trace our lineage back further than a lot of y'all. Okay, because my people was already settled while Africa was still being reshuffled. And y'all refused to believe us. And it took a goddamn felon getting on TV and telling y'all what we've been screaming for decades. Now, I don't hear nobody online saying that about Black Americans. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Let's say you're a young girl and you get kidnapped from your village in 1802. And you make it through the Middle Passage. Let's call you Amaka. You are on a boat crammed in with people from all over the west coast of Africa, right? And you don't speak the language that everyone else speaks on your boat, but you do find someone from, close by who understands you. They take care of you. You survive. You make it to Charleston, South Carolina, where everyone who was there gets separated. They see you with the young lady or young man who was taking care of you, and they separate you. Because if you are housed with someone who speaks the same language, you are then able to communicate. If you're able to communicate, then the likelihood of you organizing a revolt and overthrowing your slave master is high. So they don't allow that. So you get placed on a plantation, not in Charleston, but far, far away in, let's send you to Birmingham. All right. So now you're in Birmingham, Alabama. You have a master there. You don't speak the language that everyone else speaks, but you are trained to be a cook in the house, right? So the cook helps you train. You're one of the girls who are there. There is a older Black lady, an older woman who has maybe first or second generation enslaved person. She speaks English. You do not. She takes you under her wing, teaches you how to cook, and she protects you from the master's sons so they don't mess around with you. And you actually make it to 15. And you, at 15, now are old enough to be bred. Too bad for you, because this is not a nice plantation. So they call in one of the biggest and broadest enslaved men from a neighboring plantation, who is rented out to other farms in order to make sure that they have very big, very broad babies. You don't get to choose your husband. You don't get to choose who is with you. If he's kind, you are going to be placed in a cabin with him, and he will be gentle and explain to you what's going to happen, and you will be assaulted. Maybe you end up with someone that is not very nice. Big John, let's call him, and you are assaulted because he takes out all his frustrations from his terrible situation out on you. Now you, let's say you're Igbo, right? Your name is Amaka. You are pregnant and you remember what it was like in your village. You want to pass this down onto your child. The bred or the stud or the enslaved man that has been brought in to do this to you is not Igbo. He is, let's say that he is Mandinka. But not just Mandinka, he's also Irish because his mother was not as lucky as you were and she was assaulted in her enslavement house, right? So now your child is Igbo and Mandinka and Irish, right? So now you have this baby. But yeah, too bad for you because that man who owns you has a gambling problem, and now you are sent with your baby to settle his gambling debt to another plantation. On this plantation, you are going to have to bend to the will of this slave master. Now, this one claims to be a benevolent slave master and thinks that every slave on his plantation as his child. So he decides that you are no longer Amaka, you are Betty Ann. And he's also going to change the name of your child because you wanted to pass down something from your people. So you named your baby after your mother, but no, your baby cannot be named after your mother. It is going to be named Annie, right? So now your language is gone. No one you know has ever spoken it since you were 7 years old and you're starting to forget it. And you can't even name your own child. Someone on the plantation sees you speaking what little you remember of your language to your baby, and you are whipped. And you are whipped so severely that you vow never to speak your own language and never to allow your child to speak that language, lest they be whipped in the same way that you were. Now you have this Igbo, Mandinko, Irish child who does not have any connection to her people from the village that Amaka was born, doesn't speak the language, doesn't have any of the foods, but there are some little remnants. You know, you do her hair in the way that of your people, those sorts of things. But your child is unlucky, just like you were unlucky. And that so-called benevolent slave master on that plantation dies. And everyone on the plantation is sold, including your child, from you. Now, this is how your lineage is introduced to America. Now, imagine generation after generation after generation of mixing, sometimes voluntary, a lot of times involuntary, and all of those different tribes are mixed up together. And they become a new people. They piece together the stuff that's not beat out of them, and they make that into a new culture in the Gullah Geechee culture, in New Orleans, in Harlem, everywhere else. And we start to build new things, tap and jazz and macaroni and cheese and, second lines and all of these different things that we built up together. That is why we don't know where we come from. Because where we come from is right here.
So the British girls that's saying us African Americans don't know where we come from and like we're kind of like the orphan child that nobody want, basically. Y'all gotta remember the Caribbeans too. Like all the people who are minority down there, like they claim where they're from in that territory or in that wherever they live at. Like knowing that they weren't born there thousands and eons of years ago. Like same thing with us African Americans. We've been here for a couple 100 years, 200-300 years, but we know our origin is from Africa. Same thing with them in the Caribbean. Like Who was there before them? They claim wherever they from. They claim they said. Okay, we claim ours. We know we come from Africa. What y'all trying to say? Like, y'all trying to make fun of us? Like, stop trying to make fun of us. Like, y'all be doing the most sometimes. A little bit. But y'all live in the UK, but y'all come from Africa too. Like, just because you know exactly where you come from, because that was communicated to y'all, that's a whole nother story. Okay, us, we got stolen. It is what it is. They were stealing.
White and black Americans are tired. White and black. We are tired of immigrants coming to this country, disrespecting our flag, disrespecting our holidays, disrespecting our heritage. We're tired of it. Ilhan Omar, it's especially them. I think that everybody deserves upward mobility in their lives. But when you come to someone else's country, you refuse to conform. In every speech you make, every opportunity you get, you choose to down or talk shit about the country that's making it possible for you to flee the shithole you came from, right? You touch your 2 feet on this American free soil, and then you go into a tirade to disrespect Americans every chance you get. Black Americans are tired, white Americans are tired. The foundational Americans are absolutely tired of immigrants coming to our country and disrespecting the heritage of this country. We're tired of the flags. We're tired of the other religions. We're tired of our schools changing the curriculum because we have 700 students who don't speak fucking English. We're tired of it. It would have been different if these people came here and got on the program immediately. You left this shithole, right, that was controlling you, abusing you, murdering you people. You come over here and you bring your customs with you. I was told a long time ago that the border is not to stop bodies. The border is there to stop ideologies. But somehow America has let in ideologies from fucking East Africa, Afghanistan, everywhere. All of the countries that absolutely hate America. What is that? The foundational Americans are tired of you people coming here, getting all the resources, and then turning around, jumping on camera, shaming the country that provided you the opportunities that you have. We're absolutely tired of it. The scamming, the fraud. We also have a huge problem with our own government, but we're fighting. The foundational Americans, black and white, are fighting so many battles. We're tired of this shit. I'm looking for the people who love America, who want to put America first. I don't care what color you are. We need to stand up to what is going on in our country. This is not the America that I grew up in, or when I was a child, 10 years old, looking into the future. This is not the America that I envisioned. It's New York is not the New York that I envisioned as a child. LA is not the LA that I envisioned as a child. Chicago is not the Chicago that I envisioned as a child. I don't know what happened to our country, but Americans who love this country, who love speaking English, who love saying Merry Christmas, who love saying Christ is King, we need to stand together and stand up. Our country is under attack. Our values are under attack. I don't like what I'm seeing here every day. You got people from other countries getting on this internet talking shit about Americans, our customs, our holidays. I'm tired of it. Absolutely tired. We need to stand up and stand together. All foundational Americans. Leave the racism at home. White people, I'm talking to you guys. Black Americans and white Americans are the same. This is our country. We have to stand together to defeat the enemy. Period. I'm tired of the little bullshit we have in between our communities. Drop it so we can save our country.
Anyways, welcome back, guys. And you guys have seen all of that video that I have for you guys, where you literally need to be explaining. See, Black Americans, It has gotten to that point where you don't need to be explaining yourself to anybody, especially to those ones that did not believe what you're saying. You don't need to be explaining yourself to them, especially to those ones that will literally keep asking the same question over and over again. You don't need to be explaining yourself to them. Especially for those ones that are not your friends. In fact, it has even gotten to that point that if you have some immigrant friends that are trying to make it look like you do not have culture, distance yourself away from them. Distance yourself, because every single thing we enjoy, every single thing we are living on, every single thing that a lot of us are sitting on right now, they are the Black Americans culture. Not only Black Americans culture, most of the invention that we have literally enjoyed. I did a video earlier today. You can actually check up that video. We are enjoying those things because of the effort, the work that Black Americans have put into place. You can see from this particular clip that I actually rolled out for you guys as well, where you see this African guy saying that a lot of Africans as well do not know where they come from. I can hit my chest and tell you that a lot of Africans cannot even call more than 2 generations of where they are from. But they claim they have culture, they claim they have language. Now, when I'm saying that including myself. Because growing up, the only person that I know that I've already heard about, my grandfather from my mother's side, my grandmother from my mother's side, my grandfather from my father's side, my grandmother from my mother's side, right? From my father's side, I meant to say, you see, from my great grandparents downward, I've not even heard of them. I've not even heard of them. Do you get my point? So I cannot fully hit my chest and tell you that, oh, I can count to like 5th to 6th of my generation as someone that is in Africa, as someone that her language is not stripped away from her, as someone that have culture as they normally target. So the same thing with a lot of them. A lot of people cannot even identify where I'm from looking at me. I am from Kogi State, part of Nigeria, Igala to be precise, and I got married to an Igbo man. I know that you guys have heard a lot about Igbos when it comes to diaspora, right? So when some people look at me, they tag me as Igbo, even without knowing that I am married to an Igbo man. A lot of people even find it hard when I finally now tell them, no, I'm not Igbo. I am from Kogi State, Igala to be precise. Do you get my point? So if we as Africans are still suffering identity crisis in one way or the other, we still cannot hit our chest and count to 2 to 3 generations. We still cannot hit our chest and tell you we are really from here. See, let me give you guys a quick run backstory. And I'm talking personally about myself. And that is why I do not support anything that a lot of people will come here bring online just because they want to glorify themselves and make Black Americans look like they are stupid. I personally thought my own father was, sorry, not my father, sorry, my father is correct. I personally thought that my own mother was from the place that I grew up, knowing fully well that this was her community. Later, when I was growing up, and one of my uncle died, and they have to go do the burial, and I asked my mother a simple question: why does the burial have to be in another state? Why not your state, your father's place? That was when my mom told me, I am not from where you think I am from. Migration brought my father to this particular place where you think I'm from. Business brought my father to this particular place where you think I'm from, where I finally met your dad. So my father was a business person. That's my mom explaining to me. My father was a business person doing business, and he found out that this particular place, which is the Kogi State where my own father is from, is where they do patronize him more. So because of that, he bought a lot of acres of land, built a house, made name in the community. Are you seeing? That was like, whoa. So you are not even from where my father is from. My mom was, that was when I realized that my mom was totally from another different state, still in Nigeria. So right now, if you ask me, after my mom told me that and explained all of the history, I can now hit my chest and say, okay, my dad is from Kogi State and my mom is from Benue State. Two different states entirely, two different culture entirely, two different traditions entirely. But because of migration, we grew up thinking that this was how it was supposed to be. So if we are suffering from identity crisis, why do you think it is okay for you as an immigrant to hit your chest, look into the mirror, pick your phone, take your mic, and then ask Black Americans, where are you from? And whenever they said, oh, I am from America, you say, where in America? Oh, Chicago. Where in Chicago? What is your identity? What is your language? What is your culture? Oh, Black Americans do not have culture. Happy glorifying happy culture that you cannot even explain where you really are from. So if you're watching this video as a Black American person and you see anybody coming up to tell you, oh, where are you from, asking all of this nasty, stupid question, just ask them a simple question. Where are you from as well? If they say African, okay, can you mention your 7 generations? They cannot. But I've seen different videos of Black Americans mentioning up to 5, 6, 7 generations. I don't know why people do not see reasons to grow up. They don't see reasons to just be mature. They just want to ask careless questions and make some set of people feel like they are not worth living in a certain environment. News splash that Black Americans are going to be in America. They built America, their own American culture that you are enjoying, from hip hop to jazz to blues to dance to fashion, just name it. So even the freedom you're enjoying today as an immigrant in America. So the earlier you realize that, I think the better for you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And for disclaimers, not to ruffle on anyone's shoulder, this is me bringing my own opinionistic opinion. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be seeing back and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.